Thank you for coming on short notice. I apologize
no problem.
for that.
Good to go.
Okay, welcome everybody to the meeting. And we'll go around the room and introduce ourselves. Start with Brian.
Brian Bedord, Commissioner.
Joe Dellwo, Commissioner.
Sam Carlson, Commissioner.
Melissa Moyer, Health Department.
Melody Martinson, Choteau, Acantha.
Okay, we have minutes from April 3rd meeting.
I would move to approve those.
I would second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We have no road encroachments. We got no bids for the windows. So that brings us to Melissa. And
Great.
we have a task order for strengthening public health. I guess maybe we should make our motion and then we'll have you talk about it.
Okay.
So I need a motion on the task order.
Move to approve the task order.
Second.
Any further discussion?
So this particular task order is, this is some CDC funding. I was honestly surprised that it got continued, but it did. This is funding that is specifically to increase the capacity of the public health workforce across the nation. And so in Montana, what that looks like is this is a pass-through grant that goes to the state health department and then comes to us. And we get about $70,000 a year, I think, is what this particular task order is, and it has to be used essentially just for staffing, for payroll. So we're not allowed to use it for any other expenses. It's just to sort of increase our workforce capacity. We've had this one now. It started out, it was sort of labeled as our disease intervention specialist grant, but we now call it just our workforce grant because we can use it for more than just disease investigation. But this will be our 4th year now. This new task order will cover our 4th year under this grant that we've been able to have a staff person on. And so I currently use that to, I split it between 2 different staff that are both working under some other grants as well. So helps us keep people in our offices for sure.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. It brings us to the behavioral health grant.
Do you want to motion that one first too?
Yeah, I need a motion.
I would move to approve the behavioral health grant.
I'll second.
Further discussion?
So this one I'm very excited about. This is a big grant for Teton County, and we were just notified last week that we were awarded this. This funding actually comes from the governor's Future Generation Initiative. So this is state money, but not federal money.
That's good.
Yep. And this was the Future Generations Committee was it's a pool of $300 million, and they're making pushes to improve behavioral health systems across the state. And one of the slices of that $300 million pie is to go to rural communities under 10,000, specifically to go to health departments to work with partners across their community to address, improve like linkages in the behavioral health systems, improve partnerships, that sort of thing. So this is work that we've been doing for, years, working on improving our behavioral health systems, but we have always been a little on the underfunded side to do that work. So this grant is $250,000 over the next 2 years. So we'll be getting approximately $125,000 per year. We are, through this grant, we will be receiving technical assistance from the Montana Public Health Institute. So that's, I think about 25% of the grant will go to them to provide that technical assistance to us. It will help us keep probably a close to full-time behavioral health staff person in our office. So our intention is to use that funding to keep Claire Hodgkiss in her role, especially because she is currently funded under a SAMHSA grant that it's a little convoluted, but gets passed through to the state, then goes to Alliance for Youth out of Great Falls, and then they subcontract with us to have a prevention specialist. So that's how we funded Claire. That is how we're currently funding Claire, but that grant will be ending in September. So this one will be picking up actually June 1st, I think is what the task order says, and will allow for us to continue to have that position for the next couple of years, which is wonderful. And then some, and then some money to actually work on some very meaningful trainings and initiatives here in Teton County in the realm of behavioral health. So we're
Very good.
excited about this one.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that was a score.
Yeah, good one. Good job.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thanks, Melissa, for coming.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, that brings us to the budget line item transfer for the road. We have resolution 2511. And it's short, so I'll read it. The Board of Teton County Commissioners are authorized to transfer funds per MCA 7-6-4031. Appropriations may be adjusted accordingly, authorized by the governing body per MCA 76-4006, whereas the Teton County Road Department budgeted the interest payment to the principal budget line, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Teton County Commissioners authorize the following transfers for fiscal year 24-25 to amend the road department interest and budget items. And what they did, Mel, they just used the wrong line item, so we
Okay.
have to get it back in the right one.
Okay.
So if I have a motion on that resolution,
I would move to approve that.
I'll second.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to Dodge pickup bids. We only received one bid. This is for a Dodge pickup that the engine blew out of at the Dutton fire, and we declared it surplus a couple weeks ago. So a bid for 97 Dodge 1-ton with a bad engine. He bids $2,136, no cents. Thank you for your consideration, Greg Alzheimer.
How much was it?
$2,136.
Okay.
So what's your
I
pleasure?
would move to accept that.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Which brings us to commission reports, and we did get a DocuSign mail on that muddy bridge. We've had 3 people come in wondering if there was any way we were gonna get it open for the summer. It's currently supposed to be rebuilt in 2027. Now they're saying possibly 2028, so it's a long way out. So we did get the DOT to, they came out and they figured they could get it usable for a couple years for $90,000, and that's this program on our bridges that we have to pay for it up front, but it's 100% reimbursement from the state. So we do have the DocuSign. We've talked to Staley Engineering, and she's still got some of the environmental stuff because it's over the creek, but she didn't expect any hiccups on that. So we're not 100% sure it's going to happen this summer, but we're a lot more optimistic than we were a week ago. And we just got that news yesterday, so that's why we didn't get it on the agenda.
So they'll basically do a rehabilitation project on it
Yep.
that would bridge the bridge
Yeah,
from
they're doing
Yes.
such a good
now
job.
to the actual replacement in
Yeah,
2028.
yeah, they'll get it serviceable till that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the DocuSign that you had to sign was a what? Is it a contract with the state to do the interim work, or?
It was approval. We have to, when the DOT, we have to ask for it, and then they have to give approval from theirs. So it was giving approval to the DOT that yes, we would go ahead with the project. And we're on the hook, like I said, we have to pay for it up front, but then it's 100% reimbursement.
Alzheimer.
Is that the sign,
Jake.
is that the type of
Yeah.
project that you would go out to bid on? Because it's 90,000, it's more than 80?
Yes,
Or
and the
if you would,
Staley,
the in-house, the road department wouldn't do this project?
no, Staley does the bidding,
Okay.
and it's gonna be, Kathy wasn't certain, but she thinks she can just lump it in with the other 4 bridges that we have under this program, one
Okay.
being the Hobble Bridge. And so, yes, it would be through a competitive bid process, and Staley's gonna handle that.
Okay.
Any further commission reports?
I don't have anything.
Public comment? No public comment, public notices, none. So our next meeting will be May 15th. And we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
That was quick.
13